I don't know about you, but sometimes I just really struggle about what to make for dinner every single evening. Sometimes I want to make something new and adventurous, and sometimes I just want to make what I already know and not have any extra surprises. This week I've been putting together some old family favorites and some new fun recipes. That's what we're going to talk about in this week's video. What we've been having for supper this week. Everybody seems to have enjoyed all of these recipes, and I hope that your family does as well. Hey y'all, welcome back to Homemade Simple. If we've not met before, I'm Lori. I'm really glad you're here today, and I'm excited about sharing what my family has been enjoying for dinner this week. I hope this will help you when you're making your meal plan for next week, and I hope that you will also be sure to share your family favorites and some of the new recipes that you've been trying as well. I've also gotten a new little fun tool for my kitchen. I'm going to get to show you that in the first recipe, so let's get started. Okay, so first let's talk about my new little kitchen gadget. I told y'all last week, I think, that Chris has had some health issues and we're really trying to reverse them with better eating habits. And after doing a little bit of research, I learned that fresh milled flour is a lot healthier and better for us than all-purpose flour that we can buy at the store. So that led me down a rabbit trail, and I ended up finding this little grain meal on Mercari for super cheap. I only paid $15. I was so excited. And when I got it, I bought some hard wheat, put the hard wheat into the grain meal, and I can just grind my own fresh flour from now on. I am so excited about this. So it actually will turn what would normally be like a simple carbohydrate when we use all-purpose flour from the store, and it becomes a complex carb now that we have all of the bran and entire grain included in the flour. So that's sort of a little bit of a behind-the-scenes reason for why I am grinding my own flour now instead of using all-purpose flour from the store. It's not really necessary for any other recipe that I use. It's just an addition, and I can pick and choose when I use this fresh ground flour, but I was really excited to try it in this pancake recipe. So Lane and I hit the kitchen and got busy making these pancakes. I'll leave the recipe down below, but I used 3 cups of my fresh ground flour. I put in some sugar and baking powder, some salt and milk, and some butter. I used some eggs. I'll be sure to leave the detailed recipe down below if you want to make it. I'll also find a really good regular pancake recipe in case you want to try that as well. But I'm just cooking them up in some butter in my iron skillets. I'm also going to make some bacon and sausage to go with them, and we are just going to have a really delicious dinner. Lane and I had so much fun grinding the flour and making these pancakes. It does take a little bit of time to grind your own flour, and I sort of have gained an appreciation for pioneer women. They probably had really strong biceps, and they probably spent a lot more time than I realized preparing their ingredients. You know, you just really take for granted all of the convenience things that we have in our society, but sometimes I just like to be a little counterculture and do things my own way. I really had fun with this recipe, and I'm really excited about using my fresh flour all the time. I'm going to top these pancakes with some butter, maple syrup, some frozen blueberries that I had gotten at Costco. Chris is eating this sugar-free yogurt. I really can't recommend it because it's not delicious to me, but these pancakes were absolutely amazing. Do you not just love a simple, easy crock pot recipe? I love to use my crock pot, and I especially like a versatile recipe like this that can be used for any of the 3 meals during the day. This breakfast hash brown casserole is absolutely delicious, super easy and simple. It checks all the boxes for me. It's a total dump and go. I absolutely love this recipe. This is the second time in probably 2 weeks we have had it, and my family might get tired of it, but I am not going back. We're going to have it all of the time. I'll make sure and leave this and all of the recipes down below, but I'm going to scramble some eggs, and I use this little insert to cover my crock pot. I'm sort of thinking maybe I will get me a reusable one, but I'm not sure if a reusable silicone liner is any better than me just washing my crock pot. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or not, but grease it or use a liner so that it doesn't stick really bad. And then just put some hash browns in the bottom. Layer it with some breakfast meat. You can use ham or bacon or sausage, and then add a good layer of cheese. I had some French fries left over from the night before, and I didn't have enough hash browns, so I just used these leftover French fries, chopped them up a little bit. They worked perfect. So this is another solution to a problem. If you have leftover French fries because you're like me and you don't want to have too few, and so you make way too many the night before, this is a perfect way to use them up for breakfast, and it's going to taste delicious. So just do that layer again and slowly pour in your egg and milk mixture. It turns out so delicious. I will say one caveat to this recipe is don't overcook it. So like if you're going to have it for breakfast, you can cook it overnight, but just make sure you cook it on low and make sure this is the last thing you do before you go to bed. And then right first thing in the morning, turn it to warm so that it will stay ready to serve, but it won't overcook. I did sort of overcook this recipe, and it was still good, but wasn't as good as the first time. So that's just a little pointer for if you do want to have it for breakfast. It is overnight, but it is a very short overnight cook time. So just make sure that you pay attention to how long that it's cooking, and this is going to serve you very well. Maybe I should apologize for this, but I really am not sorry. As a Southerner, anytime I feel just the slightest tint of a crispness in the air, I feel like it's time for chili. I felt completely justified to feed a crowd of people that were coming over to my house chili, even though it's still a little bit too hot for it. It really was delicious. It turned out really good, and I love a good chili recipe. This one I put hamburger in, but if you want to have it no hamburger and extra beans, you can really make this really inexpensively. I used 3 cans of tomatoes and made my own chili seasoning with 2 tablespoons of chili powder and 2 teaspoons of cumin, some salt. I filled up a can with water, added those seasonings, poured it in, and it turned out perfectly. This is the easiest, simplest, crowd-pleasing recipe I can think of, and I just love that it's finally getting cool enough for me to have chili on a regular basis. It's really one of my favorite go-to recipes. This next recipe is a brand new recipe for me and my family. I don't know where I saw this idea. I think it was probably on Pinterest or something, where you can cut a really small tortilla in half and sort of fold it around inside a muffin tin, and it becomes like this perfect little cup for any type of filling. This is genius to me, and I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be using this method over and over again. This is my first experience with it. I definitely recommend you trying this recipe. It is probably a 10-minute meal ready to go in the oven, so it's perfect for a busy weeknight. I went ahead and put plenty of oil on the inside and outside of these cups. What I didn't do was cook them before I put the filling in. I think that's key. I think I should have done that, and I definitely will do it next time. Probably for just 6 or 8 minutes in a 400-degree oven. I think that will make a big difference on the end result being a little more crispy. It was delicious the way it was, but I think that would just step it up a little bit, make it even better. So the next time I do this recipe, I would definitely pre-bake these cups before I do the filling. Speaking of the filling, it's just about 2 cups of chicken that I had left over from a rotisserie chicken that we had before. I added 4 ounces of cubed cream cheese, 1 cup of salsa, and 1 can of drained corn. Just mix all of that together, fill each cup, top with a little bit of cheddar cheese, put it in the oven at 400 degrees for about 20 minutes. I put it on broil for another few minutes, maybe 5, so that it would get nice and brown on the top. And this was a definite win for a busy weeknight. I hope you will give this one a try as well. Okay, our last recipe today is going to be a quick and easy chicken salad wrap. My plan for dinner just didn't come together like I needed it to, and I needed a quick fix. I had some of that rotisserie chicken left in the refrigerator. I just threw it in the bowl, added some bread and butter pickles that I diced up an apple, added some lemon juice, a little bit of sugar, and some mayonnaise. Stirred it all together, put it on these tortilla wraps, and I was even able to add a little bit of green with the spinach that I had in the refrigerator. I rolled them up, added some grapes and some cottage cheese, and that was dinner. Dinner doesn't always have to be extravagant. It doesn't always have to be difficult. It is perfectly okay for you to do something very quick and easy so that you are able to sit down at the dinner table with your family without feeling the burden of having to do an extravagant, difficult meal every single night. Sometimes cereal or a quick chicken salad wrap is exactly what you need to get through the evening, and I think that this is a perfect way to end a busy weeknight. Enjoyed this week's video. Thanks for watching today. I have an exciting video coming out next Friday. I'm going to show you how I'm planning to feed my family an entire week of meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, all for $60. I don't want you to miss it, so be sure, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead right now and click that subscribe button. Also, if you go to the options and click all, you'll be notified every time a new video is added. I would love to have you back here on Monday as well. I've got a little bit of routine update, some things that I'm trying to do in September and this fall to make life a little bit easier and less chaotic for myself. I hope that you can get some encouragement out of that video on Monday, and also I hope that you will stay tuned for Friday's video that's really going to help us squeeze the most out of our budget and give our families healthy, nourishing meals the entire week for just $60. So be sure to subscribe, like this video, share it with others. I hope that you have a wonderful week. I love you, and I will see you again next time.
Welcome back to the channel. Anyway, we're making pancakes.